All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakwadash. Double honors and respect to the elders and to the apostles, a great millstone. Peace and blessing to all Akim that are preaching and teaching this word with 100% truth and sincerity. And unto the men, women, and children that are listening and learning. And unto the Baith, the Dawadah, the elect house of David that is scattered abroad, I give you my utmost and sincere salutations. And I just got off the plantation, and I had a quote saved into my phone, and it says, "The nearer a man is to a calm mind, the closer he is to strength." So the title of this lesson is "Calmness of Mind Leads to Strength." And it's true because, in order to stay, in order to, keep your head on your shoulders and keep a clear mind so you can think, so you can think more clearly, more logically, and more efficiently, you have to remain calm even when you're under pressure, okay? Because, if you get flustered or frustrated too easy, that shows that, you don't have no type of rule of your own spirit, okay? You're someone that's easily shakeable, someone that gets upset or, that just gets discouraged rather easily, okay? And in the times that we're in, man, as things keep amping up, we're gonna be attacked now more so than ever by demons, especially, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, because, you're gonna have those feelings of doubt, those feelings of, like, there's gonna be times where you're gonna be feeling like, you're gonna be going through it really bad, and it just seems like the Lord is just, it's gonna make it seem like he's not there for you, but he is. And serving the Lord while things are not going so well, that's part of the faith, man. It's just, that's part of, being tried as that gold in the fire. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and get into these scripts. I won't ramble too much here. This is gonna be Proverbs chapter 16, starting at verse 32. And it says, "He that is slow to anger is better than the mighty, and he that ruleth his spirit than he that taketh a city." Okay? So someone who doesn't, doesn't fly off the handle or get pissed off too quickly, that shows that this person has, he has emotional control. Excuse me. Excuse me. Like I said, that's a person that shows that he has, control over his emotions, and he's a logical thinker. He doesn't let his emotions do the talking or the thinking for him. He uses logic. He uses this heart, not this one. Okay. And there's gonna be times where the Lord's gonna have those obstacles in the way, because the Lord, he knows what makes you tick. He knows what gets under your skin. He knows how to razz you. But it's all a test to see how you're gonna react to certain situations, because you really got to as the scriptures say, "See ye that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil." Ephesians chapter 5, verse 15 through 16. You gotta be wise in how you move and how you think and what you do and how you deal with people around you and certain situations, man. Because at the end of the day, it's Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, so I'm gonna read that again. Proverbs 16:32. "He that is slow to anger is better than the mighty, and he that ruleth his spirit than he that taketh a city." Okay? So, again, man, you gotta You got to learn how to keep, compared to most people out here, I don't care if you're the biggest, the strongest, the toughest, and the most physically capable person, man. All that muscle but no brains, what good is it? If you don't have the brains to go with all that physical capability, you can't use it properly. You can't use it the way it should be used. It's not going to do you any good if you don't have some type of mental stability or some type of wisdom. In fact, let me get this is going to be Ecclesiastes. It's going to be chapter 7. Ecclesiastes chapter 7, starting at verse 9. And it says, "Be not hasty in thy spirit to be angry, for anger resteth in the bosom of fools." So, don't be so quick to, act out. Just take a moment to pause. Step back and think. You gotta step back and think, and if you need to take a deep breath to clear your mind, just get it together, assess the situation, read what's going on, and then prioritize. Okay? As kings, man, this is how we have to think. We can't just, because, I remember one of the brothers back then during the Passover, he asked a very good question. He says, if the Lord was to endow you with spiritual power, what would you do with it? And, he even asked another guy that knew of the truth, and the guy said, I would destroy everything around me. Or something to that effect. I can't remember exactly what he said, that he said that the guy said, and the brother said, see, you would just go on a rampage. That shows that you have no self-control with that power. You'll just run rampant. You see, as the old saying goes, with great power comes great responsibility. So when he asked me that question, I told him, that's a loaded question. He said, no, it's not. It's actually very simple. And thinking about it, the answer I gave was, if the Lord was to give me that power, whatever the Lord needed me or wanted me to do, I would do it. Because excuse me. So whatever Yahweh Shem Shai's command is, if he were to give me that spiritual power, whatever that command is, I would do it. Okay? But going back to Ecclesiastes 7 and 9, it says, "Be not hasty in thy spirit to be angry, for anger resteth in the bosom of fools." And what does anger do? It causes you to think it takes away your ability to think rationally, to think logically. You act out on extreme emotion. And emotions are mostly irrational. Okay? So you gotta think logically, and you gotta think logically in everything. Okay, drop down to verse 19. Ecclesiastes 7 and 19. It says, "Wisdom strengtheneth the wise, more than 10 mighty men which are in the city." Okay, so again, wisdom, this is your greatest strength right here. Not these, not your muscles. I mean, don't get me wrong, exercise profiteth little, but it does profit because it is good for your health. Don't get it twisted. But the best thing for you is knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Okay? Because you can only do so much with physical capability, especially in these feeble bodies. Okay? So you can take a man of that may seem like nothing to look at versus someone who seems like they're intimidating or a badass or physically capable. You know, again, it all comes down to who has more wisdom. Okay, who has that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, because at the end of the day, it's not the strongest that wins, it's the smartest. Okay, this is going to be Psalms. It's going to be Psalms 37. Let's see, so give me a second here. Psalms 37. All right, Psalms 37 and 7. And it says, "Rest in the Lord, and wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his way, because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass." Okay? So, just, that's another scripture that, roughly paraphrasing, that comes to mind. Envy not thou oppressor. Okay? Just because someone seems like they're doing better than you for that particular point in time, in the Lord's eyes, okay, sure, it seems like in the world, yeah, sure, he's doing better. The people seem to be more cool with him than they are with you. But, as the scriptures say, back, what is it? Is it John? Let's see here. I know it's in the book of John. Let's see. John, I think it's, I know it's in John. Just bear with me for a second. All right, let's see, John 14. Let's see, no, John 15. Yeah, here we go. John 15 and... let's see. Slovakia, I'm trying to see here. Yep. John 15 and 19. "If ye were of the world would love his own. But because ye are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hateth you." Okay, so once again, if you're of this world, yeah, sure, people are going to be cool with you. They're going to love you, accept you, this and that, but and even before I came into the truth, I always was the black sheep in the crowd. For some reason, I was always the one that just stood out from being different, and I was never a popular kid. I was always alone, didn't really have friends. And, I was just, I just didn't feel comfortable being in this so-called world. I tried what I could to fit in, but I was different. And even in this truth, now I can really see why. Yahweh Shem Shai took me out of this world. Okay? So, again, just because it seems like someone's doing better than you, yeah, but to what end? Yahweh Shem Shai didn't choose them, he chose you. So, if anything, in the Lord's eyes, you are better than that individual. Okay? The popularity with the people of this world, that we don't care about that. We don't care about being popular. All we care about is winning Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai's approval. So I'll read it again. This is Psalms 37 and 7. And it says, "Rest in the Lord and wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his way, because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass." Verse 8, "Cease from anger and forsake wrath. Fret not thyself in any wise to do evil. Okay? So, don't get caught up doing stupid shit. Don't get caught up doing something that you know is going to get you into trouble. Okay? Yes, this world is tempting, and there are times when we do get weak, but that's the time when you need to pray. Fast if you need to. So that way you can discipline your spirit, afflict your spirit to discipline yourself, so that way you won't get caught up and get weak to this certain temptation that just seems to be egging you and just egging away at you until you just finally give in. Okay, verse 9. For evildoers shall be cut off, but those that wait upon the Lord, they shall inherit the earth. So evildoers should be cut off. Okay? By indulging yourself in iniquity, Yahweh Shem Yahushai is going to knock you off the map. But those that wait upon the Lord, by keeping his laws, statutes, and commandments to the best of their abilities, and by keeping a sound mind, those are the ones that are going to inherit the earth. And they're not going to be given, and they're not going to be, swayed by any type of temptation or by any type of or wicked device. Because in Jacob's trouble, man, there's going to be all sorts of temptation, all sorts of snares and traps and nets that these people are going to set before us, man. And you gotta be in that logical mind state to where you gotta step back for a second and think before you make any moves. It's like playing a game of chess. You gotta think of the outcomes. Excuse me. You gotta think of the possible outcomes of all these moves that you could possibly make. And you gotta count the cost of the moves that you make. Okay, let's see. Go back to Proverbs. Proverbs 24 and 5. And it says, a wise man is strong, yet a man of knowledge increaseth strength. Verse 6, for by wise counsel thou shalt make thy war, and in multitude of counselors there is safety. Okay? So, knowledge increases strength. It increases that, not saying physical strength, but talking about, it increases, your confidence, your courage. And, it boosts, that confidence. Okay? And for wise counsel thou shalt make war, and in multitudes of counselors there is safety. So, by having counsel, by having, a sound and reasonable discussion about certain things, if there's something you're not sure about, ask a brother in the faith. He might have a sound, reasonable answer that, that you might be looking for, or that you might agree with. It's like, okay, actually, you're right. That'll actually work. It never hurts to think, if there's something that's really bugging you, or something that you would like to know more about, or if you're just unsure about something and you don't want to make any unnecessary moves, man, don't be afraid to call up a fellow Ak. Don't be afraid to use the brotherhood. The brotherhood is a tool for guidance, sound counsel, and as the scriptures say, iron sharpeneth iron. Okay? Use the brotherhood, use the system. We're supposed to be here for each other. Okay? Now, I'm going to read, I'm glad I'm seeing this right here, because this is, I wanted to get this. This is Proverbs chapter 24, starting at the top, verse 1. It says, be not thou envious against evil men, neither desire to be with them. Verse 2, for their heart studieth destruction, and their lips talk of mischief. Verse 3, through wisdom is an house builded, and by much understanding it is established. Okay? So wisdom is what buildeth a house, and by much understanding is it established. Okay? So again, don't be envious of the people of this world, man. Because, as the scriptures say in verse 2, for their heart studieth destruction. Their mind is focused on things that are only going to lead to a dead end. You know, about chasing the money, chasing bitches, or whatever it may be. Nothing of this world is profitable. Nothing of this world is, you know, it's not beneficial to you. All right, verse 4, and by knowledge shall the chambers be filled with all precious and pleasant riches. Okay? So by knowledge shall all chambers be filled with all precious and pleasant riches, man. Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Okay? Storeth up your treasures in heaven. For wherever your treasure lieth, that's where your heart shall be also. Okay? So, you know, wisdom at the end of the day, it wins every time. Okay, now we're going to go back to Ecclesiastes. It's going to be chapter 9. Chapter 9, verse 14. It says, there was a little city, and few men within it, and there came a great king against it, and besieged it, and built great bulwarks against it. Verse 15, now there was found in it a poor wise man, and he by his wisdom delivered the city. Yet no man remembered that same poor man. Verse 16, then said I, wisdom is better than strength. Nevertheless, the poor man's wisdom is despised, and his words are not heard. So right there, I just read there in verse 16, that first line right there. Then said I, wisdom is better than strength. And it is. The more you know, the better off you're going to be, even though you're going to be of a sorrowful mind because you know this truth. You know more of what's going on and what's about to happen. But at the end of the day, it's better for you. Okay, now, and like I said, you know, and I'm going back to verse 15. Now there was found in it a poor wise man, and he by his wisdom delivered the city. Okay, so not only is wisdom better than strength, but wisdom delivers you out of certain situations. It could save you from a trap. It could save you from danger. It could save you from making a stupid move. Okay? That's why you can't just look at the physical aspects of things. You have to look at the spiritual aspects. And this is the spiritual right here. So, verse 17, the words of wise men are heard in quiet, more than the cry of him that ruleth among fools. Yeah, because the people of this society, they would rather hear someone just yap, 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 yap. Someone who's loud. Someone who likes to just run their mouth. Someone who likes to, you know, show off. People love a show off. For the people of this world, they love a show off. People of this world love attention. They pay no heed to the person that's quiet. And they always say it's always the quiet ones you got to watch out for. Verse 18, wisdom is better than weapons of war, but one sinner destroyeth much good. So not only is wisdom better than strength, but better than weapons of war. And it can also deliver you in a time of trouble. Okay? So, all right, let's see here. Let me get the book of James. I'm gonna close out with James. Let's see, this is James chapter 1, verse 19. James 1 and 19, and it says, "Wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, and slow to wrath." So, be more prepared to, to do more listening and hearing than to do much talking and letting your emotions fly. So be ready to listen. Okay, and I'm speaking to myself first and foremost. So, learn to be a better listener. Because that's something that I lack. That's something I need to work on. Okay, verse 20. "For the wrath of man worketh not the righteousness of the Most High." And it don't. Because, again, anger resteth in the bosom of fools. Okay, what's the end of those that what's the end of those that are what's the end of those that are in a state of rage? Trouble. Okay. The best thing to do when you're dealing with someone who's emotionally unstable, just stay the hell away from them. Because you're bound to get caught up into some bullshit that they get caught up in. All right, now this is gonna be 21. "Wherefore lay apart all filthiness and superfluity of naughtiness, and receive with meekness the engrafted word, which is able to save your souls." Okay, so get rid of all the nonsense and receive with meekness the engrafted word. Okay? Romans 15:4, "For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that through patience and faith of the scriptures that we might have hope." Okay? So once again, calmness of mind leads to strength. Okay? And calmness of mind, people who are able to keep a calm and level head, those people have wisdom. They have control, self-control. And that's how we need to be. Okay? So, I hope that this was a edifying lesson. All praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakha Kodash. Double honors and respect to the elders and to the apostles of the great millstone. Peace and blessing to all Akim that are preaching and teaching this word with 100% truth and sincerity. And unto the men, women, and children that are listening and learning. And unto the Baith, the Dabadah, the elect house of David that is scattered abroad. I give you my utmost and sincere salutations. See you in the next lesson, Lord willing. Kwam Yasharala wa Abababal. Shalom Barakatham.